Hey, good morning. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's recently come to my attention by talking with a good buddy of mine, Nick Rogers, who runs the Milk and Bourbon podcast and channel on YouTube, whom, by the way, we did a joint episode with, and I'll have coming out on my channel here in the near future, and is already over on his if you'd like to check it out. It is Milk and Bourbon by Nick Rogers on YouTube and Spotify, I believe, as well. Anyway, he brought up to my attention something that I had been doing, I guess, over the last few months, which is opening doors to ideas and not really giving much follow through on them and talking about getting back to them. So it's my intention in the coming weeks and months to kind of clean up some of those ideas, at least as far as I can understand them. So the fortunate or unfortunate part is that, a lot of the doors that I open, I don't know that I'm necessarily able to close fully or walk through fully, as I haven't completely elucidated out all of those complex ideas within my head or my own understanding. So, as I attempt to explain a little bit further what I meant by some of the things that I've said thus far, it is entirely possible that I confuse you even more and possibly even confuse myself. So in a daring step to attempt to bring to light some of those topics, I'll start today with one that I mentioned in a previous video about the difference between fate and destiny. So oftentimes we hear both of those words used interchangeably. We might even think of them as synonyms. And as my understanding goes, there is a subtle but very significant difference between the two. So fate on one hand, I was doing a little bit of historical research on what fate is and how some of the ancient philosophers viewed the concept of fate. And as far as I can tell, from back then until now, the idea of fate is an immovable set of predetermined consequences and events that one person is to go through, is preordained to go through in their life, independent of any action that they take on their own part at any point in their life leading up to an event or essentially till their own mortality comes to fruition. So the ancient Stoics would say something to the effect of it's if it is the determination of the gods. They can oftentimes call fate determinism, which is that everything's predetermined for you anyway, and you're almost a passenger in the ride of your own life. You don't have any say about where the vehicle takes you. You are going where you are going as determined by the gods. Another phrase associated with the term fate is fatalism, which I'm not sure if it actually is predicated on fatal, meaning a death, or the fate is the precursor. So any language experts might be able to help me out there. I'm sure a little bit more Googling on my part will help find the answer as well. But either way, in that, one of the traps you fall into if you are a true believer of fate, and that everything or you have no free will of sorts to be able to select your own actions or future, is that, well, if everything is predetermined and I'm a slave to my own fate, then the actions I take really don't matter, or they only matter so much as they were predetermined for me anyway, and I'm just acting out something. I'm an actor in a play, actor in a movie, just reciting the lines that were written on the page for me to say anyway. One example I looked up was that I think it's called the lazy argument flaw with this line of thinking is that if I'm predetermined to die from a snake bite, if I get bitten by a snake, then I won't take any action to go to the hospital. If I'm predetermined to not die from the snake bite, well, then why would I need to go to the hospital if I got bitten by a snake? Because I'm not expected to die. So personally myself, I think there's some utility in the recognition that a lot of things are not within our control. and that we are subject to a larger set of decisions made by powers much greater than ourselves. There's some utility in that, and I think that's where the Stoics really saw that. The true Stoics was less in that, you know, a person's actions are insignificant, and more in that, well, a lot of the times our actions will not alter the course of many events outside of ourselves. So therefore, it is best to control what we can control. And that, I think, leads into where that significant but minor distinction between fate and destiny comes in. So destiny is something like a calling. It is an end state that you are called to move towards by the action of your own free will to move along the path that will lead you to your ultimate destiny. So it is a path that is laid out before you to a target, an end state, a goal, but that you yourself have to endeavor to walk down that path. And I think that's where those two things really differentiate. Is destiny is a call to action, and it is embedded in the idea that you have an individual choice, you have the free will, and you have the capacity to move along that path or to not move along that path towards whatever that calling may be in your life, to fulfill a certain duty, to meet a certain person, to invent a certain object, to win a certain event. All of those things can be enshrouded in the idea of destiny. But really, what undergirds that is the importance of a person's ability to see that, what that destiny is, and then to act in accordance with whatever will bring forth that destiny into fruition. So I hope that helps to kind of highlight some of the differences in your own mind for those that might believe in fate, might believe in destiny, might not believe in either, or maybe to help you to see a difference and decide maybe, oh, actually, I do have a strong feeling one way or another about either of those two topics. So more to come on some of the topics I've opened up, and by no means, like most things, the words of the concepts of fate and destiny are, I'm quoting ancient Stoics thousands of years ago. I doubt very highly that I got to the bottom of it in this 8-minute talk here, something that they were struggling with thousands of years ago, and maybe we'll never fully understand. But a worthy topic, in my view, nonetheless. So hope to talk to you guys soon, and I'll have more of some of these kind of follow-up videos coming. Again, you can check out a conversation between Nick Rogers and myself on his channel, Milk and Bourbon, until such time as I can get it up on my channel for you to watch. So have a good day.